Formula One is back in Montreal. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium. Gilles Villeneuve is a quick, free-flowing circuit in parts, with a stop-start aspect thrown in for good measure around the chicanes and hairpin bends. Medium-speed downforce will play a large part in avoiding the wall of champions and ensuring success at this iconic track. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. The weekend begins here. We return for the next day of our highly anticipated race weekend, which sees the end of practice and the start of qualifying. Time and time again, we see just how little separates the drivers as they complete their qualifying laps. Those who have pushed that little bit harder during qualifying can be rewarded with a grid place that sets them apart from their competitors going into the race. Hold on tight, because we're getting underway. It's race day, with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
Aston Martin were on target for qualifying. Now it's up to them to defy expectations for the race itself. This weekend, Red Bull displayed promise during qualifying. Now they need to capitalize on their grid position and get a good race under their belts. The weather is very overcast here, and teams are staring at the sky watching for the first sign of rain. Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
But don't forget, there's always excitement in Montreal, and the odds are that this will be another Grand Prix to remember. It's a bit of a cloudy day for the race, but the atmosphere, as ever, is electric. Aston Martin there. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. There's the second Aston Martin. They'll be starting the race from the bottom half of the grid, so there's a fair bit of ground to make up. The teams are ready to go. This is it. We're moments away now at the Canadian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. It's a collision! We can take a look now. Now just focus on the Haas. there's the hit, and it's crystal clear who was in the wrong there. Red Bull gained a place. Seems to have been a lockup. Let's see what happened there. Now look at this. It was the AlphaTauri driver involved. And this, yes, there, that's the lockup. No! And the team had such high hopes today. What a shame. Was that a lockup on the track? Let's take a look at the replay. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. Oh, and there's the lockup. That's the last thing they'll have wanted. The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there. We've just had a spin. Here's the replay. Now just take a look at the McLaren. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The car's just gone. Ferrari advance the race position.
Box. Box.
A position gained for Alfa Romeo. Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin. Goodness me, there they go, moving ahead of the other driver. The driver's team there cheering them on. Oh, we've had a spin. Let's take a closer look. Now just take a look at the McLaren. That looked like a very nasty spin. I think there's been a lockup. We can take a look now. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. That lockup could have cost them dearly. Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place. Let's take a look at the replay. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin. The team watching on and clearly loving that. Alfa Romeo just moved up a place. We've just had a crash on the track. Here's the replay. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. And that's an off. And a big off. That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see. Let's see what happened there. So this was the Aston Martin. That was a big moment. The team are clearly delighted. That's a spin! So this was the Aston Martin. And this, yes, this is where they spun out. Red Bull moved up. Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin. Back in the garage, the team absolutely loved it. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin. They take advantage and muscle their way through. Excellent work. I think it's safe to say that went down well with the team.
You can stop, lift and coast.
It's a race position gained for a Mercedes.
No saving required.
So this is last lap. Last lap, you can push the tyres. That's checker flag.
It was a pretty good performance today from Aston Martin's driver. Aston Martin had a good enough weekend, but there's still some margin for improvement here.
Yep, plenty for them to think about and strategize, and certainly a good enough result for now.
The end this weekend in 5th place in the constructor standings.
For the next round, we're heading back to the heart of the UK. Get ready for a race to remember in Silverstone, the cradle of Formula One.